AEW Revolution 2025. AEW Revolution 2025 ending explained. Results and what it means. Spoilers. Since signing a contract with HBO Max in the USA and being accessible on Amazon Prime globally, AEW Revolution is the company's first significant PPV. Cope, Kenny Omega, and the Rated R superstar all challenge Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship, while Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family tries to win the International Championship. Ricochet and Swerve Strickland square off to decide the number-one contender for the AEW Championship, while the Hurry Syndicate defends against the Outrunners, putting the AEW Tag Team titles on the line. It's going to be a Hollywood ending when Mariah May and timeless Toni Storm perform the last leg of their incredible trilogy for the AEW Women's Championship. Adam Page, the Hangman, will eventually obtain Maxwell. Kazuchika Okada defends his AEW Continental Championship against Brody King, Jacob Friedman, MJF, and Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher are scheduled to face off in a steel cage match. AEW Revolution results, March 9, 2025. The evening opens with MJF and Hangman Adam Page. With a buckshot lariat, Hangman Adam Page beats MJF after Deadeye and a nasty angel wings. Mercedes Moné uses the arm trap crossfade to Submission Momo Watanabe. Ricochet makes his debut while dressed in Prince Nana's robe. Swerve Strickland becomes the top contender for the AEW World Championship after defeating Ricochet under intense pressure. As they both exult in the arena, Strickland gathers Nana's robe. In a fierce battle, Kazuchika Okada uses the Rainmaker to beat Brody King and retain his AEW Continental Championship. To maintain their AEW Tag Team Championship, the Hurt Syndicate easily defeats the Outrunners. The Hollywood ending is a stylish way for Mariah May and Toni Storm to wrap off their trilogy. Excalibur declares that Toni looks like she came from hell after she bleeds heavily during the early stages of the fight, and Mariah tries to attack Luther with a stun pistol. Using a sign that reads the Hollywood ending and is placed over two chairs, Toni Storm wins the AEW Women's Championship with Storm Zero. With Storm embracing May at the conclusion of the fight, it's a fantastic conclusion to one of AEW's greatest feuds ever. Kenny Omega wins the AEW International Championship after defeating Konosuke Takeshita. Omega wins with a crucifix pin in a bout that is every bit as amazing as you may have imagined. The encounter between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage is vicious and nasty. Fletcher loses to Ospreay in the Tiger Driver 91. Will Ospreay's fantastic Bang Bang homage to Mick Foley, Mark Davis's several unsuccessful attempts at interference, an Oscutter off the cage, and the two men trading punches to the opponent's head with a screwdriver are all included in the bout. By submission, Jon Moxley retains the AEW World Championship. In an effort to pin Cope, Christian Cage used his AEW World Championship title shot contract, but Jon Moxley gave him a bulldog choke, and Cage passed out. As Jon Moxley exits the arena, Prince Nana welcomes him and reminds him that Swerve Strickland will be the next. For the conclusion of the PPV, Swerve leaps from the concourse and does a swerve stomp to Moxley. More than fresh starts, AEW Revolution seemed like a night of significant ends. Along with the box office conclusion to Toni Storm and Mariah May's amazing rivalry, Kenny Omega's match against Konosuke Takeshita stole the show. Omega is once again an AEW champion. Apart from that, Swerve Strickland will go after Jon Moxley, and Cope and Christian will likely collide once again after Christian Cage's unsuccessful cash-in ruined Copeland's chances of winning the World Championship. It was a night filled with tremendous highs and exciting matches, but apart from the main event that night, there isn't much sign of where we are headed. Recap and comments to the AEW Revolution 2025. The main event was a garbage show. The Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California was the source of AEW Revolution, March 9, 2025. Toni Storm with the Hollywood ending, Will Ospreay with a Spanish fly off the top of a cage, Kenny Omega capturing gold, Jon Moxley defending the World Championship against Adam Copeland, and much more were all featured in the fantastic PPV event. Catch up on all the intricacies of the Revolution with Claire Elizabeth's superb play-by-play. Let's go from top to bottom across the card. AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley defeated Adam Copeland and Christian Cage to retain the title. Yes, exactly. Christian took advantage of his deal. Before that, there is a lot to discuss. Copeland and Moxley began with a slugfest in which they threw strikes at each other. Cope decided to plunge outdoors without any care. By concentrating on crushing Cope's neck, Moxley was able to establish dominance. High-impact maneuvers like a superplex and a spear through the ropes and down to the ground were key to Cope's success. The match broke down at this point when Mox changed the tide. Until that time, I believed the main event was going well. After a string of outstanding matches, it was in a difficult place with a slower tempo. After then, it descended into a vehicle accident. Cope kicked out on the cover, as was to be anticipated. The Bulldog choke was used on Moxley. Piledriver. Get out. Let's go back to the choke. Cope made a daring grab for the ropes as he was fading. Remsburg got in Mox's face because Moxley was sluggish on the break. Moxley gave the little referee a push. Remsburg grabbed a chair from him and removed it. Cope crashed into the official during the commotion. Put down the ref.